Namaste and good morning. Oh, yeah. I got my heart just pumping a little bit. All right. So let's take this moment to come together in consciousness, knowing that there is only one power, one presence in all of the universe. And we are one with that mind, with that power, with that presence. And we accept and embody our good and affirm that in this place, we are living truth. And we release this word to the universe and affirm. And so it is. Welcome to Living Truth 365. My name is Reverend Jada, and I will be your pulpit assistant this morning. Namaste. I behold the Christ in you. All right. There is only one of us. So yes, welcome to the first one, the second one in January. Good to see you, Miss Shirley. I'm about to call you Reverend Shirley. So that might be a clue. That might be a clue for you, Reverend Shirley. So I encourage you all out here to check in on our social media. You know, we got social media out here. We just ain't in the building. We out there in them internet streets. Yes. We in them internet streets. We gonna be live on YouTube today. We done upgraded from the Facebook. But so if you want to check in on our internet spaces, please do. We also got an Instagram page, y'all. We done stepped really 2 feet into the 21st century. Yes. But just a reminder about Living Truth, we have a vision here. A world in which everyone lives life abundantly by recognizing the oneness with all that there is. Because here at Living Truth, we are all about relationships. That's why Reverend Sharon be calling y'all. And y'all be calling back. And you are here today. Because we are about building meaningful relationships, growing in our practice and our relationship with Spirit. We are here to provide you with the tools, the teachings, the experiences that support your unfolding awareness with all that is in, all that there is. Now, I know when you walked in today, did you see a big old placard there? It said, what we going to be doing this year? Well, I'm going to reference it later. But this is a New Year's 2024, y'all. When we recognize that there are no barriers in God because there are no barriers in me. So I suspect that's going to be raining in your head throughout the year. And you're going to hear a lot more today. But before we get into the rest of our service, we got to establish something. Love. So we're going to take this opportunity to do a love treatment and love on ourselves. You know, a lot of times this is the first hug that people done got in the week. So if you can't love nobody else until you love yourself, so take a time to unfold your body temple, give yourself a squeeze, and you're going to say your name and I love you 3 times. Let's go. Jada, I love you. Jada, I love you. Jada, I love you. And we know here at Living Truth, love is fulfilled and multiplied when you spread it around. So spread some love to the space and to the people that are around you. Spread some love to the cyberspace that's out there. We know that we may be a small group right now, but there are thousands that are with us. So extend your love out to the universe. to give some more thanks, some monetary thanks, our offering. And two ways that you can give here at Living Truth. The traditional way, so if you need an envelope, is raise your hand, but you can also give through Tithely. One-time setup, just text give to the number that is on your screen, wait for a reply, click the link, and you've created your account. So anytime you want to give, you can give through Tithely at any time. But here comes my favorite way to give, and that's Cash App. And our Cash App handle is $ Living Truth 365. $LT 365. So I'm gonna give you a moment to get your offerings together. When you look up at me, and then I know we're done. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. I got money. We're going to do this 3 times. It's on your screen. Let's repeat this giving affirmation 3 times together. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one with it. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one. Now, one more time with power. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one with it. And we're going to put that exclamation point on it 3 times. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. And so it is. Oh, here we go. Come on, Miss DJ. I was like trying to time that with you, Reverend Terry. Oh, oh, oh. Hey. I got what? Uh, yeah. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know that money's coming to me. So, I might be giving you a call and saying, you can quit that job now, cause I got you. No problem. Well, we're gonna have you can break that fourth wall, Reverend Terry. You can break it for me.
All right. So we're going to have a musical selection.
There you go.
And then the next voice that you'll have here after that will be our speaker.
We won't have a musical selection, and the next voice you're going to hear is our speaker, the Reverend Sharon Thompson. All right, here we go.
Miracles. Morning. Good morning. Welcome to the first Sunday of 2024. Oh my goodness, it went so fast. I can't believe it. I'm so glad to see you all. You look wonderful. I hope you had a great new year. You brought it in a wonderful way. And I'm expecting good things for you for this 2024 new year. So today, I'm talking about creative visualization and breaking barriers. So I think you remember from last Sunday, all year long, we're going to be talking about this idea of breaking barriers for 2024. And so one of the keys, because we've got 12 keys that we're going to be focusing on all year long. And so the key for January is this idea of creative visualization and using creative visualization to help you break those barriers that we talked about last week. So I'm not going to really talk a whole lot about those barriers because we discussed that last week. So if you didn't watch it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the YouTube page and watch that lesson from last week. Okay? It was powerful. We did some shifting. We broke some boards. We broke some barriers because really breaking the board was the first barrier for some of you that you might have had to overcome. So I want to talk a little bit about this idea of creative visualization. Creative visualization involves the power of your imagination. That's mental imagery, so that you can create the things that you want in life and how you're going to make it happen to achieve what you desire. In other words, it is imagining yourself successfully doing, being, and having the things that you want to do, be, and have in life. It can be visualizing the goal that you want to achieve, a performance that you want to execute, some behavioral changes that you want to make in your life. Or you can imagine yourself in a new home, in a loving relationship, going through an interview for a job, or like athletes do, visualize yourself scoring and playing a winning game. The scientific basis behind visualization is that the brain actually has a difficult time distinguishing between what really happens in our life and what we imagine. So when you imagine something, you physiologically create new neural connections in your brain. The same way that your brain creates new neural connections when you are doing something new in life, like learning a new language or learning a new skill. Those neural connections are also used as pathways for those things that you do repetitively in life and that you automatically perform out of habit and that you do on a subconscious level, like getting in your car. And sometimes you don't even know how you got where you're going. It's automatic. Those neural pathways have created grooves that take you where you want to go, and you don't have to think about it. But something that we take for granted is the beating of our heart, breathing, talking. You don't think about it, it just comes out of your mouth. Those neural pathways have been created in your brain. And so once you repeatedly activate your imagination and visualize the things that you imagine as already happening to you, your brain won't be able to tell the difference between real life or your imagination. Let me say that again. Once you repeatedly activate your imagination and visualize the things you imagine as already happening to you, your brain won't be able to tell the difference between real life and your imagination. So here's an awesome thing about the power of your brain, which is the power of visualization. And this is what scientists believe. They believe that human beings are the only living creature on earth who can visualize things before they are materialized. Before they're materialized, human beings are the only ones that have this ability to do that. So you have the incredible ability to image things that don't even exist and then to bring them into visibility. Now, I want you to take a moment and really think about that. You have the ability to imagine what has not yet been created, as well as the power to create it. That's been proven again and again and again from the beginning of time. The pyramids, electricity, airplanes, cars, the computer, the internet. I can go on and on. But you, right where you are, right now, you embody this powerful ability. But the question is, are you willing to use it to help you break your barriers and to create a life of freedom and authenticity? Because otherwise, it is really just sitting undeveloped and dormant within you. So before we go any further, I want to be very clear about how and why visualization will not work. Because I hear people say all the time, oh, I visualized and it hasn't manifested. Oh, I visualized that, but it did manifest. So why does it work sometimes and it doesn't work all the time? So I want us to look at some principles about why it won't work. So here's the first one. It will not work unless you take action. Take action. If a mental action isn't supported with physical action, it absolutely will not work. Visualization without action, it makes you a daydreamer. Let me say that again. If you don't take any action and you're visualizing, you're just daydreaming. It's wishful thinking. Because let me tell you something. I haven't met one person who has gotten into shape by sitting in front of the computer or the TV, and they're eating ice cream and chocolate chip cookies and pretzels and potato chips, and they're visualizing themselves being fit and in shape. But they're not getting up and doing any kind of physical activity, much less walking. They're just sitting there and eating. But they're visualizing. Have you seen anybody accomplish it like that? Because I certainly haven't. Visualization can be a strong tool which you can use to change your internal mental processes. But it must be reinforced with direct and consistent action. Don't mean you do it one time and say, I did it, I visualized, I did it that one time. Direct and consistent action. So number 2, visualization will not work if you do not believe what you are imaging is achievable. See, for some of you, your mind can embrace the vision, but your subconscious mind doesn't believe that it's true for you or believe that it's the truth about you. So you are unable to express and demonstrate it in real life. Therefore, the manifestation of your vision will never exceed your own subconscious definition of yourself. I gotta say that again, because I think that went right on over your heads. And I'm gonna say it slowly. The manifestation of your vision, it will never exceed your own subconscious definition of yourself. Daggone. Okay? So you got to take that with you. Take that to the bank. Here's number 3. Visualization will not work if you are unable to see past where you are. See, you have to see yourself moving beyond or past your current circumstances, beliefs, habits, or experiences. Because if you cannot see past them, you will be unable to break the mental barriers and to move through them. You're not going to achieve it if you can't see yourself past where you are, because you're going to just stay in that space. You're stuck. You can't see any further than that, than where you are. It makes sense. Here's number 4. Visualization will not work if you are unable to relax your body and meditate. Oh boy, because we talk about meditation here a lot, don't we? But you have to be able to relax your body and empty your mind so that you can enter a meditative state. Relaxing your body and your mind, it grants you access to the deeper levels of your consciousness, which is actually the perfect state for impressing your subconscious mind. Number 5, visualization will not work if you are unable to believe that you already have it. You have to believe that you are already in possession of whatever it is that you are imagining in this present moment. You have to believe and feel that it is already yours. This empowers you to not only sustain that feeling and state of already having that thing long after your visualization time is over, but to maintain it throughout the day, to maintain that feeling of having it, of being it, of doing it. Mark 11:24 in Scripture tells us, anything that you pray for and ask, believe that you will receive it, and it will be done unto you. This isn't about wishful thinking or lying to yourself or having rose-colored glasses. It's about having the kind of faith that is the evidence of things not seen. And it's based on your understanding of the conscious creation process. So you're not going to manifest anything if you don't have the consciousness for it. So wherever you are in consciousness, that is the level, that's the degree, that's as far as you're going to get. So you got to elevate your consciousness, expand your consciousness, and the things that you desire will expand and increase as well. Because you want to know why you're staying at this level? You haven't expanded your consciousness enough to receive it. Number 6, visualization will not work if you are unable to detach yourself from the outcome. So you have to be able to detach yourself from the outcome that you intend to see manifested in your life. Because whenever you are attached to someone or something, you effectively strip yourself of your authentic power to consciously create the life that you choose. You cannot be grateful or enjoy peace of mind when you are attached to the unfolding of a specific outcome. If you are attached to the outcome of something, then you're not open to what the universe wants to bring you. You're attached to it. So you have to let go of what you think is going to happen, how you want it to manifest, who you think should be in the picture with you. Sometimes we have it in our heads about what we think is best for us. But it don't always work out that way for us the way that we think it should. But we think we know best. So you have to detach from the outcome. You have to say, what do we say? This or something better. Because we don't always know the higher plan that the universe has for us. Because again, it's that limited way of looking at things. Because we're not the omniscient. We don't know the full scope of what the universe has in store for us. So let me tell you something about detachment. Detachment is effortless when it's backed by faith. And faith is completely natural when you know that you are one with universal divine mind. See, let me drop some metaphysics on you quick. When you think and what you think, it thinks. That it is divine mind. And whatever is impressed upon it persistently must come to pass. Let me say that again, because I'm looking at somebody's face and like, what is she saying here? What you think, it thinks. And whatever is impressed upon it persistently must come to pass. Because that is universal and divine law. And it cannot be otherwise. Number 7, visualization will not work if you believe in barriers and limitations. How can it work? You must be able to shift your mind into the realm where there are no barriers or limitations. This is the realm of infinite possibilities. This is the realm of the divine. And that's why it's so important for you to use that 2024 barrier-breaking affirmation until you experience that shift in consciousness. So now let me throw some metaphysical stuff at you about creative visualization. And I'm just going to throw some stuff out at you. Every manifestation is created or born twice. First in your mind and the inner world with the help of visualization, and then it materializes in the outer world through your works or actions that you take. This happens to you whether you are conscious of it or not. It works. It's divine law. It's principle. It's always at work. It's always at action. It's omniactive. It is said that you reap what you sow. However, without taking action, you haven't sown anything to reap. Once you see yourself in your mind's eye as already having achieved your goal, whatever that might be, then your intuition and your sense of inner knowing will light a path for you to follow. So you don't have to guess about it. That divine intelligence will guide you and direct you, and you just have to take action and follow it. In order to have the best state of consciousness to manifest your goals and break through your barriers, the mind must be still and the mind must be clear. That's why meditation is an important part of the creative visualization process, because it allows you to clear your mind so that you can connect with the divine intelligence within you. But meditation also disperses and clears whatever subconscious blockages, limitations, and barriers that you're dealing with, because we all have them. And sometimes you're not aware of them, but in that meditative state, they come up to the surface, and you're aware of what's holding you back. Because once meditation quiets down all that mental chatter and blockage, then your intuition comes up. And only then will your ability to creatively visualize open up and unlock. And once this happens, it allows you to see the path of your intended goal. When you can see the goal, you'll start to believe that it's possible. And when you truly believe in something, then nothing can stop you from achieving your goal. There's a beautiful quote that I like by an author. It's unknown, but I love it. It says, "Belief in what you are doing bends the quantum nature of our reality to your will." See, as I said last week, everything begins and ends in the mind. Therefore, many of the barriers that we believe and hold on to, they are mental barriers. And those barriers were created, they're being nurtured, and they exist solely in our mind. They don't exist no place outside of you. They only exist in your mind. That's where they live. That's where they take residence. That's where you're feeding it. That's where you're giving it comfort and shelter. When we use our mind and the power of our imagination intentionally, then we can overcome any breakthrough and any mental barrier. Now, I've told you what creative visualization is. I've told you under what circumstances it won't work. And I've given you some metaphysical and spiritual principles. I want to go over the two most important aspects of the process of creative visualization. And then in between them, we're going to do a quick exercise of the creative visualization process together. So that first important aspect in the process of creative visualization, it is feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. In creative visualization, the ability to feel what it would feel like if you already had what you desire in your present physical experience, that's of utmost importance. This means that you must engage and activate all of your senses and your feeling nature to bring what you are imagining to life. It's like creating a movie in your mind. You're creating a mind movie that plays whenever you turn on the power of your imagination. You are bringing your imagination to life. It's alive, it's in living color, and you are the star. In order to creatively visualize your mental movie, it requires you to both ask yourself and answer these questions. How would I feel if I am being who and what I desire to be? How would I feel if I am being who and what I desire to be? How would I feel if I already have what I desire to have? How would it feel? How would I feel if I'm doing what I desire to do? And how would it feel to bring forth the experiences from my creative visualization into real life? So you need to be able to ask yourself those questions, but also answer them, because that's going to help you to understand your feeling nature and to bring it alive. You have to imagine the moment, the surroundings, the excitement, the totality of being fully present as you experience the fulfillment of manifestation in your mind movie. So you have to be in that moment. You have to create your mental movie and fill it with as many details as possible. The more details, the better. It needs to look real, feel real, and sound real. It needs to capture the distinctive nuances of you feeling the reality of your manifestation experience. This is being fully engaged in your creative visualization experience. What would it look like? Where would you be? Who would be present with you? What time of day would you be there? And what does that look like? Is it morning, afternoon, or evening? What colors are present in that experience? What would it smell like to have this thing you imagine? What odors would be present in that experience? What would something in your experience taste like? Is it the tart and fruity taste of champagne as you celebrate your achievement with friends? What would it feel like to touch something in your experience? To touch the hood of that shiny new car? To turn the faucet on in your brand new home as you're in your kitchen preparing a meal for your friends and family for your housewarming? What other sensations would be present in your mental movie? What would it sound like? Or what sounds would you hear in that experience? Would you hear laughter, applause, or cheering? Is it music playing? What's the song that's playing? Are you dancing, humming, or singing along with the music? What do you hear others saying about your manifestation? What are they saying to one another? And what are they saying about you? Can you hear them telling you how courageous and strong you are? Can you hear the compliments of how good you look and how proud they are of you for achieving this in your life right now? What other sensations are present as you imagine yourself having, being, and doing the things that you want to bring to life? Is the sun shining on your face? Is the wind blowing in your hair? What do you see around you in your mind movie? Can you see the vibrant colors and smell the fragrance of the grass, the trees, the flowers, or the ocean? Are you walking, running, sitting, or standing? Get into the full picture. Don't leave a detail out. It is all important for the complete experience of your mind movie. There's a quote by Neville Goddard that says, "You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire until you are possessed by it. And this feeling crowds out all other ideas out of your consciousness." But Reverend Ike says it even simpler. He says, get full of the feeling, because full feeling brings fulfillment. So I want to take a couple of minutes and I want you to just be in this moment and just kind of feel for yourself what it feels like to feel the experience of a mind movie. So I want you to close your eyes and open up your inner vision. Relax your body and take some deep breaths. And know that you are now connecting with your inner divine and creative mind. Breathe deeply and be in this present moment. There's no time but now. Choose a barrier that you want to break through. And see that barrier, whatever it is. Examine your thoughts and how you feel about facing this barrier. Are you tense, anxious, nervous? Are you even a little bit fearful? Because if you're fearful, this is the perfect time to repeat that 2024 affirmation. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Now take whatever your barrier is and visualize it. How's that barrier feel? Is it heavy? Is it tight? Is it weighing you down? Do you feel any sensations or pressure in your body? Because if you do, again, repeat that affirmation. There are no barriers in God, so there can be no barriers in me. Visualize yourself successfully working through your barrier. What are you doing to break through your barrier? Where are you? Are you outside? Are you in a room? Are you standing in front of an audience? Who's with you? What do you see as you look around? What are the sounds and the color that's around you? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Now I want you to just take a deep breath and return to this present moment. Because that was just a quick guided exercise to give you an idea of what the creative visualization process should feel like and how to get full of the feeling. Were you able to do it? And if you had any issues, just continue to move through it and that wonderful process. And eventually, your imagination will take over and you'll be able to see yourself doing, being, having, experiencing, and breaking through any barriers without any issues. But you have to continue to practice it. So here is the second important aspect in the process of creative visualization. And that is leave the how up to the universe. Leave the how up to the universe. See, the focus of your creative visualization must be on the outcome and not on the process. Once you accept the truth about the power of your mind, your thoughts, and your imagination, and you understand that you are one with that divine universal mind, then it's easy for you to release any need to control the process, because then you realize that the how is not your concern. But that's not what most of us do. We get caught up trying to figure out how our manifestation is going to unfold. We start thinking about who's going to help us. When is it going to happen? How can we make it happen faster? What if we do this instead of that? And so on and so on and so on. But that's not our job. Our job is the what, and the how is the job of the all-knowing and all-powerful universal mind. See, when we try to figure out the how, we're telling the omniscient divine mind that we believe that we know better. But we don't. Because if we knew better, then we'd already have whatever we want to have. We would already be our authentic and divine selves. We would already do whatever we want and need to do. We'd have no barriers to break through, and we'd know that there are no limitations for us to move beyond. So leave the how to God. Living Truth family and friends, unleash the power of your imagination to break through your barriers to reach your goals. Use creative visualization to help you open the door of your mind. All it takes is a small shift in your perspective to create a crack in your consciousness. This crack allows you to see a light and a path in the darkness. And what you believe to be a barrier or an obstacle that you need to break through is instead discerned as actually being not a barrier, but a door. An open door, which you now have the ability to simply walk through. Use creative visualization to walk through the doors of your mind and break your barriers. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon. That's some good stuff. So here's about, why are we doing this? Why? Why are we doing this? I can't tell you the hours upon hours upon hours that the ministers of Living Truth spend to put together these kinds of programs for you, these initiatives for you, because we really want you to live your life abundantly every day in every way. Truly, we want you to live your life abundantly every day in every way. I'm preaching that to myself too. But there's a lot of thought that goes into this programming and these initiatives that we put in forth. And the breaking barrier one, it probably has to be the most significant one so far in the 7 years that Living Truth has had its doors open. I mean, we really want you to smash those barriers to smithereens. Smash them to smithereens. Because here at Living Truth, we all have one thing in common. We are in search of the truth, for understanding, a quest for understanding in the world in which we live, how these principles operate in the universe. And most of all, we seek an insight into what we are, why we are as we are, in our quest to be all that we can be. Living our lives abundantly every day in every way. And that's why our affirmation for 2024, there are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. Let's repeat that. There are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. Again, there are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. One more time with power. There are no barriers in God. There can be no barriers in me. So are you going to come on this quest with us? We got some workbooks here. But it's up to you to make the commitment to break through your barriers. So if you are committed to break through your barriers and live your life abundantly in every day, in every way, raise your hand for a workbook. But this is a commitment. This is a commitment. Don't take it if you don't mean it. Really. Don't take it if you don't mean it. Because 2024 is the year. It is the year. No more excuses. We breaking barriers. We're going to be all that we can be. I'm looking at Chantel because I got some, we got some things we're going to be doing together. Now, there are 12 keys that we're going to be working with for each month. There's a key for each month. January is creative visualization, which Reverend Sharon spoke on today. February, fasting. March, health. April, mindfulness. May, demonstration, manifestation, creation. June, we ain't seeing no evil. July, you're going to give yourself permission. August, be childlike. Have some fun. September, pay attention. October, be a conduit of healing. November, be love and reach out. And December, meditation. This is a comprehensive list, and these keys are on a poster board outside in the foyer. So that when you walk in this space, you are reminded that there are keys to unlock all that you need to be during your time here on this earth plane. These are the keys to break those barriers that we have been living with, saying that it's holding us back. So as we continue in this month of faith, our first key, creative visualization, I want you to consider a great truth. Everything that occurs is because of faith in general. But as Reverend Sharon said, it's faith in action. That's why you have those booklets right there. It's going to guide you to take some action. We are breaking barriers to possibilities. We know that the barriers are nothingness. We're launching this program because we know that the possibilities are endless. These barriers are simply a figment of our imagination. John 10:10 says, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. We like to talk about scripture, but let's be about the scripture. We want to be about the scripture. That we believe this, then our lives will show it. Reverend Sharon loves to say, your life will tell on you. Your life will tell on you. So what can you do? What shall I do, Lord? You're going to work that booklet right there. It's going to help you break whatever barrier and to be all that you can be. So that this time next year, y'all going to be in here looking differently, smelling differently, driving differently, walking differently, talking differently. You might be somewhere else because you've been performing differently. Brother Jay Hill in Dubai, performing in somewhere else, who knows where you'll be. But we're going to see Jay Hill being that all that he can be. And we're going to be like, I know him. I know that dude. What shall you do? You're going to follow the plan. Isaiah 5:5 says, now I shall show you what I shall do to my vineyard. I shall break down its tower. It will be for plunder, and I shall break down its hedge, and it will be for trampling. We are trampling. We smashed those boards last week because we want you to smash those barriers to smithereens. Now, in your workbook there, you can go ahead and open it up because you've made a commitment to work your workbook to break those barriers in 2024. There's a purpose in each section. We've got a theme for each month and how to use it to break through your barriers that you're experiencing. And we got the work, the activities. We have activities to help you identify and do your work to break through the barriers preventing you from living your abundant life.
So Reverend Jada, if you can get them to go to a small Roman numeral number 2, that page is going to have what you're talking about now.
Okay. Small Roman numeral number 2. The purpose of each section. So it's time to do the work. We're going to have these breaking barriers events. Those of you who were with us last Sunday, that was a powerful event, wasn't it? Yes. To break those barriers, to break that wood. I know most of us came in here, had never done anything like that before. And then you saw other people doing it, and I'm sure there were doubts in your mind. Yes, can I do that? And everybody came up here. They made the commitment and did it. And did it. And we captured it on camera. Hallelujah. And we're going to have the exercises for you in your workbook. There'll be exercises for which you will need to set aside time to identify and examine the barriers that prevent you from experiencing your breakthrough. Now, all of these exercises are available to be downloaded on our website, livingtruth365.org, on the first of each month. So even if you don't have that piece of paper with you, you can always go to our website and get the information. You can download the exercises. So there's no excuse as we live in this cyber world. With the click of a button, you can have access to this information, but you got to work it.
What's that address?
Livingtruth365.org. 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 Send your friends and family there. This is for everyone to come in. They may not live here, or they may be doing bedside Baptist, who knows? Doesn't matter. Go to our website, download these exercises so you can start living your best life. And one of the things that we're asking you to do is really to start your journaling, to get out what is within. So we have some journal prompts that are going to be in your workbooks that are available to you to help you conjure up what's preventing me from being the best that I can be. What are those deeply seated doubts that I might have? That's going to come up. So we're giving you some journal prompts, some things to think about so that you can start writing out, getting out all that stuff that is layered within you. And of course, we're going to have some inspiration for you. We got some wonderful quotes. As Reverend Sharon gave us that wonderful quote by Neville Goddard. I'm going to go back to it. And that wonderful quote by Reverend Ike. What's that quote? What was that?
Get full of the feeling. Fulfilling brings fulfillment.
Fulfilling brings fulfillment. Boy, I'm taking that home with me. So, it's time. Ain't it time?
Yes.
Ain't it time, Chantel? It's time. We got plans. And whatever that barrier that is preventing you, from achieving your goals disintegrated, smashed to smithereens, just like those boards. So I'm going to have Reverend Sharon come on up and give us some more of her good information.
So here is what I want us to do. One of those activities that we discussed for January, you're going to actually do it right now. So let me tell you what we're going to do. Today, you're going to write a letter to God. You may call it God, Spirit, Divine Mind, the universe, but it's not going to be a letter to God that you're used to writing. Today, we're going to, under your seat is a pen, a clipboard with a pen, paper, and an envelope attached to it. I want you to pull it out. And I want you to close your eyes and get still. Okay? And so take some deep breaths and slowly and intentionally connect with your breath. Know that whatever you need to know will be revealed to you in this perfect present moment. So you're going to be writing a letter to God. It's going to be concerning everything that you are facing. Your barriers, your struggles, your challenges, your fears, your hopes and dreams, your desires, the things that you want to change in your life, the things that you want to change in your mind, the things that you want to change in your relationship with others and with yourself, the things that you want to accomplish in those areas of your life where you'll need the strength, courage, the motivation, and the love to get it done. This is not a God give me letter. This is a God I want to be. God guide me. God show me, reveal to me. God, this is where I am right now. And these are the barriers and challenges that I need to get through so that I can get to where I want to be, so that I can live the life that I desire to live and the life that I was meant to live. You're going to pour all of this out and write it down without filtering it, without thinking about it. I don't want you to worry about grammar or punctuation or spelling. Just write. When you're ready to start writing, I want you to first write the date, and then I want you to begin your letter. Dear God, dear Spirit, dear Divine Mind, dear Universe, however you want to address God, whatever name you're comfortable using. And I want you to write that, the date, and dear God, with the hand that you normally write with. So I want you to do that right now. The date and dear God. And then I want you to stop. The date and dear God, bless you, dear universe, dear spirit, dear divine mind, bless you. When you're done, look up. All right. Now I want you to breathe deeply. Bless you. Oh, you just blessing us and yourselves in here. Come on now. So now here's what I want you to do. It's going to sound strange, but there's a method to this madness. I want you to take that pen and I want you to put it in your non-dominant hand, the hand that you don't normally write with. See, you're using your non-dominant hand to aid you in rewiring your brain and then firing those neurons that you don't usually use. Non-dominant handwriting therapy is used to open us up when we feel stuck, to help us to bring forth our latent insights and perspectives, and to offer us a fresh viewpoint on our life, and then to find new ways of looking at something. So you're going to write with that non-dominant hand, even if it feels awkward and slow. It's okay. It's new. You're learning something new. Take your time. Trust what emerges. Don't judge it. Don't evaluate what you're writing. Just write. On the screen, the instructions are there to help you to keep the directions in mind. Do not change the hand that you're writing with, no matter how uncomfortable it may feel. And I'm going to give you 15, 20 minutes tops to do that. Non-dominant hand. Firing those neurons. Take your time. Just write. Let it pour out of you. You're talking to God about breaking those barriers. May not feel comfortable, but that's the point of it. Take your time. It's okay. You're doing a new thing. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Remember, you're telling Divine Mind your concerns and everything that you're facing, your struggles and challenges, the barriers you want to break through, your fears and your hopes and your dreams. Things you want to change in your life. Breathe through it. The areas you need to be strengthened and encouraged. Where you need to let the love pour in. getting to the other side of your challenge. Breaking your barriers. I'm going to give you 1 more minute to work on it because I know you're not going to finish the letter today. And I'm going to give you some instructions on finishing it up at home. I want you to finish up whatever that thought is that you have, the sentence. Put a period at it or a comma because you're going to finish this letter at home. And when you're done, I want you to look up and let me see your beautiful smiling faces. How was that for you guys? It's very interesting. Again, it's like learning a new language or a new skill. It takes practice. And again, you're rewiring and firing new neurons in your brain. You're opening up yourself in a different way. And so what I want you to do with that letter right now is I want you to take that envelope and I want you to properly address that envelope with your dominant hand. So you're going to put your name, because as if this letter is being mailed to God. I want you to put your name in the proper place on the envelope. Your name, your address. It's being mailed. You know, post office needs to know where the letter came from. And then in the center of the envelope, you're going to properly put the address for God, for spirit, for divine mind. You were like, Reverend Sharon, what does that address look like? It could be 1 Infinity Lane, the universe. It could be 3 Omni Road, the present moment. Be creative about the address for God. Everywhere evenly present, right where I am, right here and right now. That can be the address. So at least now you'll have your envelope properly addressed and ready so that when you go home and return to this exercise, you're going to take this letter, those papers, and to finish your letter, you're going to use what? Your non-dominant hand to finish writing your letter. Okay? And then when you're finished writing your letter and you've signed your name, you're going to take it, fold it up, and put it inside the envelope. You're going to seal that envelope. And then you're going to retain that envelope in a space where you will be able to find it when in October, we're going to say to you, where's your letter that you wrote to God? We're not going to forget that because we've got an exercise in October that's going to require your letter. So put it someplace where you're going to remember it. Okay? That's your letter to God exercise that you're going to finish at home. That's part of your commitment to doing your work. The next thing I want to cover with you is that board that you broke last week. And if you were not here to break a board, then you'll have an opportunity to do so later. So what are you going to do with that board? Because, like I said, for some of you, that was actually a barrier for you to break the board. And on one side of the board, you wrote the 2024 affirmation. There's no barrier in God, therefore there's no barrier in me. And on the opposite side of the board, you wrote some of your barriers. That barrier list is very important because it's going to serve as the foundation for the barrier breaking work that we're going to be doing for this entire year. So again, if you didn't attend the service, I want you to create a barrier list at home because we're going to have you come to the vision board experience, which is going to be by Zoom. You don't have to leave your house. You can sit in your jammies and work on creating a vision board that is solely around this idea of breaking barriers. It's a barrier breaking vision board. Okay? Yes. What is the barrier breaking list? Your barrier breaking list is all of the things, the obstacles and challenges that you have, that you face, that you think you have, that are keeping you from living, being, doing, having the life that you want to live, be, do, and have. What are the barriers? It can be your fears. What are the barriers that you think that you have? Maybe you think that you need to lose weight. It's a barrier for you to do something. What do you think of barriers in your life that's preventing you, that you believe is preventing you, that you have the capacity to do something about, to change your life? And again, if you want to break a board, like you saw in the video, again, you'll be given an opportunity to do that in May, because in May, we're going to have another board breaking opportunity for everybody that will be present. Okay? So that barrier breaking vision board, that will be on January 13th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. via Zoom. You're going to be creating a vision board based on the barriers that you listed on the board that you broke at our New Year's Eve service. These are the barriers that you desire to break through for 2024. Your vision board is going to serve as the visual means of seeing yourself breaking through those barriers. In creating your vision board, you may find that some of your barriers are they're layered like an onion, and they're going to need to be addressed more than once because it's multi-layered. Some of your barriers are going to be easier for you to break through, and this is going to give you an opportunity to add additional barriers that you want to break through, challenges that you want to break through onto your vision board. So this means that you're going to be altering your vision board more than once to break through your barriers. Therefore, your barrier-breaking vision board isn't something that you do just one time, put it away, and you don't look at it. It is instead an ongoing work in progress, pretty much like we all are. And it's an essential part of the work that you're going to be doing in 2024 to break through your barriers. So I want to leave you with a charge. You got homework, you know. Barrier Breaking Vision Board, Saturday, 13th of January, 11 to 2 p.m. via Zoom. Make sure you have your list, okay? No excuse for you not to be up on the Barrier Breaking Vision Board experience. Here's your charge. The charge is simple. I want you to create a sacred space. This is your January barrier breaking exercise, to create a sacred space, because your home is a reflection of your spirit. Therefore, your sacred space should serve as a place where you leave behind the chaos and distractions of the world. It's a space where you can go inward to align and connect with God. It's a space where you can heal and restore your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's a space where every time you look at it, you're filled with joy and peace. The most important aspect of your sacred space is how the energy feels. So you should have items that represent that energy, that inspire you, and that uplift you. Now remember, you do not have to have an entire room dedicated as your sacred space. It can be a shelf. It can be a corner of the room. It can be a small table. It just needs to be a sacred space that you intentionally and consciously put together. After you've created your sacred space, I want you to show us your final results by going to Facebook and or Instagram and tagging us. Or you can email your pictures to livingtruth365@gmail.com. On our website, under the 2024 barrier breaking tabs, are the instructions for setting up your sacred space. I want you to use your imagination and creativity to create a sacred space that not only reflects who you are, but it speaks to you. This is your charge and your exercise for January. So you got a lot of work to do. But again, you the one that said you was committed to breaking through your barriers. And it is work. And the other part of that work is doing exactly what you've done today, which is showing up at Living Truth 365. So with that said, I'm going to go through one last thing that we're going to do together, because this is important for 2024 as our 2024 barrier breaking affirmation. You're going to learn it by heart because it's going to be ingrained in your subconscious mind. And I want you to stand up and do it together. We're going to take this 3 times. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Again, there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Stop. Take a breath, please. Really take in what you're saying. Because you're saying there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in you. Really take that in. And now let's repeat it together. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. And so it is. Have a beautiful afternoon. Look forward to seeing you next week. Peace and abundant blessings. And so it is.